Your What's goody team? Good morning. Good morning. All right. So for AU, let's go from the top to the bottom real quick. So for the last couple of days on AU, we know we were just in the sideways movement. Right. With that being said, we know we are still at the top of the zone of consolidation. We've reached the area, right, where we could sit here and say, oh, on the daily time frame, what does this look like? Right? Very simple. For me, this looks like a shoulder head shoulder, right, at the top of the zone of consolidation. So I already know there's one thing I want to see. Two things I want to see, right? The number one is, where are we within the structure? We're already at the previous lows. So understanding that in this area right now, not the best place to take the trade, right? Our opportunities to have taken these trades on AU would have been from here down. Would have been when price gave us the inducement of the high, gave us a confirmation that the trend has shifted. Right? From here down to here was our trading opportunity for AU. Right? So the same thing that happened here, the exact same thing that happened here, and the same thing that we had drawn out from 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whenever this was, is the same thing I'm looking for down here. Either price is going to give us the inducement to reverse, or price is going to give us the break and the retests to continue to push down to the bottom. All right, we have it all drawn out here. So with that in mind, let's go down to the lower time frame. We already know daily time frame, we're downtrending. 4-hour time frame, right? Technically speaking, when we're looking at structure, we know we had higher high, higher low, higher high. But right now, obviously, price is pushing down. We had 2 weeks of drop. This week being the third week, price went down, continued to give us those lows, which is good. The only thing I don't like, again, just looking at where price is at right now, lower low, lower high, lower low. So also, we understand where we're at in structure. We're at a lower low. Do I want to take a short position at a lower low? Or would I rather wait for a lower high for price to then give me the continuation? Oh, what do you mean? Simple. Forex 101, this is the first thing you learn is market structure. It doesn't matter what YouTube channel you go to. You see everybody talking about lower low, lower high, lower low, right? For price to continue, right? Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Or you have higher highs and higher lows. So when you're on a downtrend, you know price is making lower lows and lower highs. So when you're looking at the structure, boom, where are you? You're at the lower low. Right? Lower low, lower high, lower low. Exact same thing we have drawn is the exact same thing that's happening here. So again, understanding that you're currently here in the trend. Is it better for you to get into a trade down here, or is it better for you to get into a trade when price gives you a lower high point to then continue down? Same thing. Like, would you rather get into a short position here, or would you rather get into one here? Would you rather get into a short position here, or would you rather get in somewhere here? Right? Would you rather get into a trade here, or would you rather get into the trade here? It's the exact same thing. Who's good, Shaka? How many trades do you take on average a week? A month, anywhere between 4 to 6 trades. In a month, I take 4 to 6 trades. That's the reality of trading, though. That's why you see that I haven't taken any losses this year. My loss was still from last year with GCAT. So, and this year I've taken a lot less trades compared to last year. I take 9 to 12 trades a month. It's not bad. That's not bad. It's all about just, again, just being able to look at the reality of it. Like, you compare my trading now to how it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, right? And you'll see that I'm taking trades pretty much every day, right? I'll be taking 2 to 3 trades max a day. And you look at the wins and you look at the losses, and it's like, all right, bro, like, why am I winning? Why is it 50-50? Or why is it 40-60 where I'm losing more than I'm actually winning? Um, and it's simple. Again, when you ask yourself these questions in trading, it all goes back to just back testing. That's all you have to do. Like, any questions you have on the charts, literally any questions you have about the charts, like, why does this pullback always happen here? You start asking yourself those questions, and then you have to go look for the answer, right? You got to do the back testing. You have to do the research. And in my back testing, it was literally that, like, yo, why am I taking trades every single day? And again, the same thing that I've shared every single day on the streams here, like, yo, these patterns and these candlestick analysis and the EMAs, like, it's gonna happen every single day on the charts, right? The fair value gaps, the turtle soup entries, breakouts, right? The break and retests, they're always gonna happen every single day. What the question is, which entries are high probability and which ones are low probability, and why? You have to give yourself the reasoning as to why. And once that was clear to me, which was literally 2 years ago, right? For 2 years now, I've actually been able to understand that. Now I trade, yeah, I'll take about anywhere between 4 to 8, maybe 10 trades in a month, between 4 to 10 trades a month. Right, so pretty much one a week. That makes sense. Right, like last week we took what, 2 trades, pretty much one on Monday, one on Friday. Then the first week of we're already at the last week of the month, so yeah, like the first week of the month, I think I took a trade too, and then technically 3 trades on the second week if you count the scaling from the US 30 trade. I got in twice. So that's another thing. Like, yo, my winners, you know, you say 4 is crazy, but Kendall knows. When you think about how big the wins are, then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's not like it's 20 cents, $2. So shit, you do that type of damage 4 times a month, yo, come on. Me personally, I don't need more than that. You know what I mean? So it gets easier. That's another aspect of it, I guess you could say, like, oh, okay, like, now I get why you're comfortable trading. Well, but the reality is, like, we could all get to that point super quick now with firms, right? Before it used to be a little bit more difficult because if you don't have capital, you don't have capital. And building an account, not that it's impossible, but it's a lot more work and a lot more discipline, right? Which is something, that's how I started. You start an account with $100, $200. It takes a certain type of discipline to be able to do that with an account. So, not with firms. Yo, it's easy as fuck. You take your time learning, and then boom, once you're ready, which is gonna take you less than a year, if you really, again, if you really fucking lock in, Again, you could use candle as an example. It really could take you less than a year to get the type of capital that you need to be able to take one trade and have a fucking 10K payout. It's just crazy. So, and it was funny because the other day I was even like, just to get off topic, but kind of on the same topic, like it kind of rubs me the wrong way that there's some streamers, like traders, who like they'll count break even trades as winners. Like they won't, I don't know, they don't count those as losers, but it's like you should. So it's like, they have that, they show that they have 400 wins for the year and 100 losses, but then they have 200 break even trades, and it's like, yo, you're trading at a 50-50 rate. Some trades hit TP and some others reverse on you. Those are losses. Don't count that shit as break even, bro. Fucking frauds. You and every streamer that I turned on last, I don't know why I was watching them last night. I was so bored, and I was just going through YouTube. I'm like, who's live right now trading this shit? And it was just like, I think two traders on YouTube, both their stop losses got hit like crazy. Um, and then on TikTok was brutal during Asia session. There were so many fucking traders. This is what I like my For You page. It's all trading now. It's been like that for a few months now. All right, so back to AU real quick to what we were saying, right? So we know we're at the lower low area right now in the trend. So damn, I almost just died. I almost just choked. Um, Gotta be patient, right? What I like about the 30-minute, we had the change, lower low, lower high. We had the break. The valid break gave us a lower low point. Price is pushing up to a lower high. Um, we're back at the high of the day. So now this is where you kind of could start relaxing a little bit. Why? Because at this point, you allowed the market to give you information and enough information for you to make a good decision about what you're going to do in your next trade. Why? Okay, cool. Price gave us lower low, lower high, right? And it gave us a valid lower low break of structure. It gave it to you, right? It was with this red candle here that closed below the wicks, not touching the break of structure line. Cool. This is the lower low that we're looking at. Once price gave you the confirmation of the lower low, it came up. We had clean traffic back to the top side. But again, we understand that we're trading between this lower high and this lower low. So realistically speaking, we understand we have all of this area from this low to this high. We have all of this area for price to give us a lower high point. But we already know, okay, in order for price to go higher than here, what do we want to see? We want to see price give us a break of the internal highs. Right? A lot of traders would call this support, support and resistance, whatever the case is. Right? It's just when you're looking at structure on the internal time frame, this is just a previous high point. We know that price has to break these highs for price to continue to go higher. And what is price doing with these highs? Right now, we're just inducing it. Price came up to the highs. If you're looking from the wick to the body, price tapped into the highs, right? And if we go down to the lower time frame, I'm sure you'll see that 1 minute time frame start turning around. Right now, we're still trading on an uptrend on the 1 minute. Right, we have higher high, higher low, higher high. So at this point, this is the easiest place for price to be to start looking to take these trades. I just tripped out for a second. I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, I'm like, what fucking time is it? And I'm over here thinking it's the isolation session, yo. I'm not gonna lie to you. I locked in there for a second. Kind of had no fucking clue what day it was. Oh shit. It's been a minute that I haven't consistently woken up and fucking went straight to the computer. this early. So we'll be patient. AU looks good. Again, before anything else, right? We're just taking it step by step. Right now, we're still on an uptrend on the lower time frame. So I'm gonna wait it out. I can't take a short position when price is still giving us higher highs, higher lows. It just doesn't make any sense, right? Like, does it make sense for us to get into a short position here? Like, no. You know you're gonna be in drawdown. You know you're gonna have a steep ass pullback. You know you're gonna have a steep ass stop loss. There's no point. Like, just be patient. It's still 7:40 in the morning. Right? We have news at 10, I believe. I think we have low impact at 8:30. But I think we have it's not high impact today, but it's medium impact at 10. So if price could give us some type of move right now on the 1 minute, the change, the break, then we know we could take those trades to continue during the 9:30. And that's how you capitalize on the trades too, right? You scale into those type of trades. You could get into one early, you could get into one a little bit later at 9:30, 9:45. EA already hit STP for the day, so we'll move on. EuroCAD gave us a third day push, and again, maybe I'm the fucking market maker, but gave us an engulfing candle here. Price went tapped back into those lows, gave the inducement, which happened at the end of Asia going into London. Induced the lows, came back to the highs. So we go down to the lower time frame, which will be the 5 minute. Regardless, no matter where you put it. You have the inducement of the low, and then price came back to the highs here. Gave you the change technically. This is where I would want to see. Price is still making higher high, higher low here. If we get a valid break of those highs, then on the lower time frame, you could get into a comfortable trade. That's what I was looking for, kind of an engulfing candle, something, because if we could get just a small trade would be, like at this point, I'm treating this as a zone of consolidation. So like, let's say we get the retest, we get an engulfing candle somewhere here. I'll be looking for a trade like this on EuroCAD. I'll just be targeting the high of the day. It would be like a small trade, but that's why I would want to see it on the 1 minute time frame. We could keep EuroCAD on. Euro USD, let's calculate STP for the day. 64 minus 33%. It's 42 pips. For the day, we already did 43 pips. So Euro USD is done. We'll turn that off. And again, price doing exactly what it needs to do. We have 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. And we went down. Again, we have no news for today, realistically speaking, no high impact. So for us to be expecting price to move something like crazy, I'm not expecting it. The second thing I'm looking at this point on the internal time frame, we go down to the 15, the 5 minute. I wanted to see a valid break. Right, again, this is pretty much a shoulder head shoulder on the internal time frame. Price is respecting the 800 EMA. At the same time, it gave us a shoulder head shoulder. In order for this to be a valid shoulder head shoulder, you need to get a valid break of the lows. Did you get it? No. You put a line from here. All of these candles, the red candles, are still touching the break of structure line. None of these candles gave you a valid break. I was looking for a valid break below the wick here, right? This candle would have broken, but it's still touching the BOS line. This candle here closed above, still touching the BOS line. This red candle here, same thing. This could have been the break, but it's still touching the BOS line. And you could see now how price is giving you inducements of the lows, exhaustion candles, letting you know that price does not want to go down right now. So still waiting for those confirmations. This 30-minute candle still hasn't printed, but look at the exhaustion candles that we printed in the last 2-3 hours. Like, the market is already pretty much telling you what it needs to do and what it wants to do. And again, for EU as well, specifically, looking at structure on the 30-minute, where are we? Lower low, lower high, lower low. Could this be the lower high point to continue down into a lower low? For sure. So I'm going to take it easy with EU. Overall, I know I'm in an overall uptrend. We're back at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. At this point, what I'm looking for is for price to start turning around at these lower lows. We have 2 weeks of drop, counter, going against the trend. So right now we understand price is just giving us a little higher low point for price to then continue into that uptrend overall. Gonna be patient with EU. GA already hit STP for the day, so nothing left on the table. We had 2 days of rise on GA. Price gave us a 3rd day. Let's go back to it. So that's another thing. The move for the day is already done. STP for the day is already done. So nothing left for us. GCAD is just moving sideways. We had the break of the zone of consolidation. Instead of price giving us a simple higher high, higher low, or for price to give us a simple break retest to continue, it gave us a break and a zone of consolidation. Right? So again, it's simple to trade zones of consolidations. You just have to be there. You got to be present when the move gets made. But at this point, you're pretty much looking at these highs and these lows. Right? So we already know if price comes to these lows, it's already 8 a.m. pretty much. We have an hour and a half for the NYC open. We know that's when volume is going to kick in, if it kicks in. Once price gives you an inducement of the low, you can start looking for those trades back to the top side. And whatever, like your trade is literally from the bottom of the zone of consolidation back to the top. And you're looking for the same thing. When price goes back to the top, you're either looking for the inducement, right? The exhaustion candles, the evening stars, for price to go back down to the bottom. Or you're going to wait for price to give you the break, the retest, to then go to STP for the day, wherever the TP would be. So that's what I'll be looking for today. Could price give you a steeper pullback and break these lows as well? Absolutely. That's why you're going to be patient. But I like the fact that price also, again, just structure where we're at overall. We have a shoulder head shoulder. This is a bullish shoulder head shoulder. On the 800 EMA, we got the break. Right? Price not only gave us the break of the zone of consolidation, but it gave us the break of the overall structure that we had as well. So I'll be looking for a pullback. Like, again, GCAD, where are we? When you're looking at the trend and what's going on, we're at a higher high. Right? And again, when you're looking at structure, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Where are we on GCAD? We're here. Right? GCAD here, right? We're here. We're here. I don't want to take a buy position at these highs unless I have a clean reason to understand that, okay, you could take a trade here because instead of price giving you higher high, higher low, right, it's giving you higher high and it gives you a zone of consolidation to then continue. That happens. That could happen. Could this be that? It could be. But right now, we don't have that confirmation. So I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be patient. There's only 2 things that could happen here. GJ similar, right? Just came back to these highs. This one was a little bit different. It gave us the inducement of the low, came back to the highs at these highs. Did we technically get a clean break? Yeah, technically. But right now, what this price is doing here is just inducing traders. Exhaustion candles to the highs, exhaustion candles to the lows, coming back to the highs, exhaustion candles going both ways. It's just trapping traders. Price is just moving sideways. So again, this is where you got to make as a trader, you just gotta ask yourself, like, yo, am I really gonna take a trade in this area? Or am I gonna wait for just better price action? It's again simple for me. Shit. I'm waiting for better price action. It's simple. The trend is your friend. Is GJ currently trending? Nah. Our price is just moving sideways. Look at the candles. I'm good. Like, yo, I'm not gonna get myself into any of these fake outs, manipulations, whatever you guys want to call them. Simple for me. We're trading at the higher high. Cool. Let price give me the confirmation. Right now, all of this we understood as its own consolidation. All right, cool. Let price give you the breakout. Why? Because I already understand, like, I'm okay with missing the initial trade. Let's just circle it out, put a different color so we understand. Like, I'm okay with missing the initial trade because I know now I could target these trades from here to here. Like, I'm cool with it. I'm fine understanding that. I'm okay with it. And the same rules apply. Like, in order for price, what am I looking for? Just look to the left. We have clean traffic back to where? To these highs, right? After what? After the break of these highs. So I know that I have easy trades from here to here, right? Then price has to break these highs here, right? You see how all of this connects, right? Once we get to these highs, clean traffic all the way. What do we have? Clean traffic again, all the way to here. So then you already know, cool. Either price is going to give us the inducement to go low or it's going to give us the break to go high. Either price is going to give us the inducement to go back down or price is going to give us the break to continue. That's all I'm looking for. It's literally all that I'm looking for. So GJ, same thing we were waiting for down here is the exact same thing we're waiting for now. And if you're up at 4:30 in the morning yesterday, that shit would have been a beautiful trade. 2, 3, 4 in the morning. That's why I like waking up end of Asia going into London sometimes to look at GJ, but yesterday would have been a great day to have done that. Just a simple break retest to continue. You know, the only bad thing about it was 800 on the 30, but where else is price gonna go? Straight into STP for the day and move more. We'll keep GJ on. And again, guys, any questions, let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. If not, again, I'm pretty much just going through my pairs one by one, seeing what's left for the day. To then start trading them. So GU, again, 30-minute, we're still trading lower low, lower high, lower low. Price came back to the 30-minute highs, and we're still in a lower high point. So it's GU is in this area right now where, yeah, do I want to risk taking a trade here? No, again, it's simple. Like, we know that, yeah, internally we're making higher highs and higher lows, but external, we're still on a downtrend. So I want to play it patient, similar to EU. Right, we're back at the bottom of the zone of consolidation, which is cool, right? This is what we would label our safety trade. But again, this is just a point of interest. We know we're at the lows, and when you go from the top to the bottom, when you go from the higher time frame to the lower time frame, now you start to understand, like, yo, he sees this on the lower time frame. Why isn't he just taking a trade? He sees higher high, higher low, because again, what is price doing? Where are we? Like, we're back at the highs, right? The low, reject the lows, reject the highs. Reject the lows to do what? Come back. Do what? Reject the highs. Like, again, this is an area where we understand the beginning of the week, right? The ending of last week going into this week, yeah, these are beautiful days to take trades. And we had the engulfing candle. What time frame was this on? This was on the 15-minute time frame. Just a little small one. Price never gave the retest, so that kind of sucks. But you see how start getting those confirmations to go what? Back to the top of the zone of consolidation. Take your take profit up there, wherever your STP is at for the day, and you're chilling. Right now, you're looking for the same thing, either for price to give you the inducement of the high to go short, or you're looking for price to give you the break and continue back to the top side. All right, now we just got the inducement. Then you go to the lower time frame. What is price doing? Lower lows and lower highs. So how am I going to take a buy position when price is currently still making lower lows and lower highs? Doesn't make any sense. Right, then price here started giving us lower low, lower high. Technically, we'll say this is lower low, lower high. And we got the lower low again here with the valid. No, still hasn't given us a valid break just yet. But if we could get price, this is pretty much going to be our confirmation, like 8 a.m. confirmation. Right, you're trading between this low and this high. Price didn't give you a valid break of these lows just yet. So understanding that this lower low, lower high position, these short positions that you would want to take right now, is low probability because price never gave you a valid break of these lows. So this is either where price is going to give you the turnaround, or it's going to set a lower high somewhere here. You just got to wait for a pullback to settle, or to set in. US 30. Similar to the other ones, guys. The only difference with US 30 is a lot more volume, moves a little bit quicker. But the exact same logic is applied for every single pair. With that being said, we're looking for a valid break above pretty much this wick up here. So we're now all confused. We had this little zone of consolidation on the internal time frame, looking for a valid break above here. Right, just for price to continue, just look to the left to go back to the top side, right? So when I'm looking at that, I know that it was this wick, this candle, the body closed above. We never got a valid break. We're looking for a valid break above here. Price came back to the highs today, gave us the inducements, gave us the exhaustion candles. Cool. Looking at structure again, this is like a internal shoulder head shoulder. Price gave us a change of character down to the bottom side, not a valid break. Came back up. Technically, is this still a good lower high point? Yeah. Why? Okay, because on the 4-hour time frame, price gave us the inducement, gave us exhaustion candles, gave us an imbalance in the market. That price came up, went up to fill. Perfect. Understanding that, we also know we're at a higher high point on the daily time frame. Okay, cool. So now on the 30-minute time frame, all we have is a change of characters. So I'm just looking strictly at market structure. If price gives us an inducement of these highs, and now we go down to the lower time frame, what am I looking for? I'm looking for engulfing candles. I'm looking for my change, my break. Right here, if you got into this trade, because there's, oh look, it gave us an inducement, then gave us an engulfing candle, you went straight to stop loss. Right, because technically right now, price is still giving higher highs and higher lows, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Right now, this is where price is turning around. We start going to the lower time frames. Right, on the 5-minute, you have an engulfing candle, but it doesn't have a bottom wick or a top wick there, so it's not valid. You start looking at the 5-minute, and then you have a higher high, higher low. This wick here, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? So now we know on the 1-minute that we're trading between here. Nope, wrong time frame. This is the 5-minute. So on the 1-minute would be a little bit better too. And on the 1-minute makes a little bit more sense. If we want to be a little bit more aggressive, we could really stay on the 1-minute time frame. Then on the 1 minute, you have an engulfing candle here. The price never tapped into. This could be a good point of interest. You have the 50 crossing below the 200 in this area. Could be a good area to keep an eye on. Okay. We'll come back to 30. We still got those gaps at the bottom of the market as well. Right, S&P yesterday just trapping everybody, yo, for an hour straight. Finally above the 800 EMA as well, the 50 cross above the 200. Like S&P looks like it wants to fucking skyrocket, but then you look at US 30 and shit's telling me it wants to go down. This is, it goes to what we were talking about in the beginning of the week. Or at the end of last week, I think it was. Somebody came in talking about correlations of different pairs, and it's like, the correlation for pairs, it all depends on market conditions. Like that switches so much. Not often, but it does switch. And if you don't realize that it switches, it's gonna cost you a lot. Because you're gonna think one thing when you haven't realized that it's not the same, or now it's moving the same, or vice versa. So that's kind of why I don't stay away from correlations. Again, like there are some pairs that I look at to kind of see if I can have a cheat sheet to be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is moving this way, so I know this pair that I'm looking at has to move the same way. By the way, we're skipping over gold because it already hit STP for the day. There's nothing for me on gold right now. Price on gold is just moving sideways again. It pretty much came back to the 30-minute lows, right? Like last week, it gave us taps to the lows many times, came back to the highs, and it did the same thing. Came back to the lows, didn't give us a valid break. We know we're trading lower low, lower high, lower low, but it didn't give us a valid break. So if price now decides to start uptrending on the lower time frames, what I'll be looking at, we have gaps at the top of the market. So if tomorrow, for example, if we continue to uptrend on the lower time frames, then we know we could target those gaps. We'll target these highs, and that'll be the change of character back to the top side. Price tapped into the daily lows, gave us an inducement of 30-minute lows, gave us an inducement of 4-hour lows. So if price starts making higher highs and higher lows going into the end of this week, even going into the start of the month, then we know gold is going to continue that push to the top side. Oil, similar. Right now, price is just moving sideways. There's no trend. Price was on a downtrend, lower low, lower high, lower low, but price never gave us a valid break of these lows, and that is why we're seeing price go back to the top side. We just got to be patient with oil. We don't have a valid confirmation. We didn't get a valid break of the lows, so we can't, as traders, we can't sit here and say, oh yeah, this is where price was going to give us the lower high for price to continue to go. No, price never gave us the break. There's no confirmation that price was going to continue. And then silver, again, similar. Very similar situation. We're just moving sideways. We're back at the highs. Price already hit STP for the day. We had a 3rd-week low for this week that price tapped into, and as soon as it tapped into it last night, price came back to the highs. Right, so tapped into the lows, came back to the highs in the same session, induced the highs, and just is sitting there now. So we are gonna keep an eye on. Let's take a look again. Start from the top to the bottom. Then we did a long. Took us 30 minutes to do that. All right, AU. We will continue to look at AU, but we said we were gonna look at AU on the lower time frames, right? Because price is still giving us higher high, higher low, technically speaking. So before I even trade this shit, I need to see price turn around. So AU will skip for now. EuroCAD. This is a small pair. I could trade this on the 5-minute. I wouldn't mind it. You said that these lows are lower. Yeah. Now we have a 5-minute change. On the 1-minute would be a little bit cleaner. Again, we could be a little bit more aggressive and just do this shit on the 1-minute. Stop being so fucking lazy. No, on the 1-minute is the same as the 5-minute, but on the 1-minute you'll get faster information on the 1-minute. Like right now on the 5-minute, the type of information you're gonna get, it's like we know we're in peak high. We're looking for price bounce off the 50 EMA, like number one. So we know that's happening on the 30. On the 15, we're just moving sideways. On the 5-minute, we're not even bouncing off the 50. But you go to the 1-minute, it's like, all right, right now you're looking at the EMAs and it looks downtrending still. So like there's no point in like rushing into it. Like there's really not. Like, price gave you the change, all right, cool. Before it gave you this change, what did price do? Moving sideways. Again, pretty much just in a zone of consolidation. If you want to put it aggressively, right here. So price gave you an inducement of the low again, cool. Just be patient. Again, there's really no point in rushing into the shit. And if you want to get super like, do I want to count these wicks? Right, like saying that these wicks here, right? Like, do I want to say that this is higher high, higher low, right? And then this wick went higher, and then say that this is higher high, lower low, higher high again. Like, do I want to say that this is a structure that we're trading in now? Change of character back down to the bottom, lower low. We can, because we know that this is where we're going to be wanting to see price give us the valid break. Like at this point, we're trading lower low, lower high, lower low, technically lower high. So we broke below the 800, the 50s crossing below the 200. Everything looks like it wants to downtrend on EuroCAD. That confirmation is going to be now on the 1-minute time frame. If price could give you a valid break of these lows, we know price is just going to continue these downtrends all the way back down. And then that 372, once again, the 372 has already been hit for the day. That's all price needs to do. Price could finish as a rise no net to then give us a 4-day variation going into tomorrow. And that would make sense. Again, price right now is just moving sideways, just trapping traders. We still don't have a valid break of those highs just yet. So there's no confirmation to get into a trade yet for EuroCAD. I get you. You said, how do I get to at least 6 trades a month? Again, it just go back to the trades. Like, you just ask yourself the simple question, like I was trying to explain it to you earlier. Let's just put it in perspective, right? Like, you say you take 9 to 12 trades a month. Okay, how many are winners and how many are losers? That's the number one question, right? Once you say, okay, out of the 12 trades, let's just use the max numbers. Out of the 12 trades, 4 of them were losers. Okay, cool, not bad. Go back to the losing trades. What was different? That's another thing. What was different between the 4 trades you took and that were losses and the 8 trades that you took that were winners? What's the difference? Was it the time that you took the trade? Different session? What session did you take it in? Start looking at everything. The structure, where you were, were you trading the reversals? Were you trading with the trends? These are all questions you have to ask yourself. Then once you have all those questions, then you'll be able to figure out, well, okay, this is what I have to change. This is what I have to look for. Now I understand, like, okay, this could happen, but if this happens and this doesn't happen, then I can't take this trade because it's high probability. Like, again, that's how you get down to understanding high probability trades versus low probability trades. Like, what makes this trade right now different than the one that you took before? Why did you win this trade compared to the other trade that you lost? GCAD, we're just moving sideways. GJ, a lot of the GBP pairs. Let me just again pull this up for everybody. Like, no news today. Only thing, we have CAD news at 8:30, so we got 10 minutes or 20 minutes for that. Outside of that, nothing. Just low impact, medium impact at 10. Yeah, we're at the end of the month. Got a bank holiday tomorrow for CAD. Bank holiday for USD on Friday. So the volume for a lot of these pairs, guys, I'm really not expecting too much. So GJ, we're still in the zone of consolidation. We'll give it a little bit. I'm just gonna turn these pairs off. I'm gonna keep it simple. It's already 8 a.m. GJ is an Asia London session pair, like, you know, GCAD is also Asia session, London session pair. I'm just gonna turn it off. EuroCAD, same thing. I'm just more interested on EuroCAD though. I want to keep EuroCAD on, just for the vibes. GU, similar to EU. Only difference is we didn't have a valid 372, but price is still lower low, lower high, lower low. Price came back to the 30-minute high, gave us the inducement. This is still a lower high point. Exactly what we were saying earlier. Like, yeah, internally we're still making higher high, higher low, but externally we know we're back at the highs. So I'm not gonna force myself into any of these trades right here. It just doesn't make any sense for me. And then gold already hit STP for the day, so let's focus on the 30-30. Pretty much US 30 is the pair that I'm going to focus on for the rest of the day. We said we could focus on, I could focus on the 1 minute with this pair. This would make the most sense. We have a change of character, we have a clean push down to the bottom. Perfect. We're looking for a lower low, lower high. We have a valid break of the 800 EMA. 50 cross below the 200. I love that engulfing candle that we printed on the 1 minute, bro. I don't think we'll get that pullback though. Way too big of a pullback. And then, because we have no news today, just low volume. My TP for a trade up here. So like, for example, I wouldn't be targeting STP for the day. I'd be targeting either the low of the day or the high of the day. If I take a long position, it'll be the high of the day. If I take a short position, it'll be the low of the day. So if we take this 1 minute engulfing candle, like let's say we get the pullback for whatever reason we get that pullback, this will be my entry and my exit for the day. So I'm not targeting STP, I'm not targeting nothing. I'm targeting the low or the high of the day. So we'll wait. We'll see what price gives us. We only got a change. I'll be looking for a valid break. Would love to get a steeper pullback, but like if price can give us a pullback, we'll love to get that on US 30. What's good, Mr. Mike? Good morning, my brother. Any questions, guys? Again, let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over? Anything you want me to talk about? Anything that doesn't make sense that you want me to explain or whatever? Let me know, man. Just let me know. Could already see price. You know, if we want to count this as a lower low, lower high, they start trending below the 800, gave us a valid break. That valid break, price gave a, did open up with 1 minute gaps up here. The 5 minute also gave a valid break. Well, change of character. We don't have a valid break. That's why I said it a little bit earlier, like the 5 minute, I was like, yeah, we could, you know, if you want to be aggressive with the 5 minute, we could be aggressive with it. There's no doubt we could do that on the 5 minute. And I would rather look at this on the 5 minute because it would give me a little bit more of a crystal clear view as to what I'm looking for. So like for example, on the 5 minute, I would just mark this up, right? This is just a change. And then, you know, I'll be looking for price to give us, you know, lower low, lower high, to then continue down into the lower low. Is what I would want to see. But the 1 minute price is just flying, and it's already giving us those confirmations. So again, if for whatever reason we still have an hour, 10 minutes left for the 9:30 open, right? Volume could kick in. Price could give us, you know, a nice change of character, lower low, right? And then from now to 9:30, give us a lower high point. Maybe tap into these highs here. Yeah, like that could happen. That would be like crystal clear that could happen. But just continue to trap traders for another hour, right? Give them the inducement, start coming back up, right? And then around 9:30, 9:45, do something like this. Like that would be right from 8-7 from now all the way till, yeah, right, 9:30, and then by 9:30, 9:45, come back down and give us the change of character, the break of structure, the retest. This is where I'll start looking to take that trade to go back down to the bottom. So if price could give us a retest, right, boom, first entry there, scaling here to continue. And then I would want to see something, right? Obviously my trades would be something like this for the first entry. It's very similar to the trade we took on Friday last week. We could even go back to, right? This would be the first position, and then the second position will be somewhere here like this. That wouldn't be bad. Very similar to the trade that we took on Monday, not Friday, my bad. I don't know how far back I could go on the lower time frames. But one trade was the first trade, which was the engulfing candle, the retest, right? Price making higher high, higher low to go back into the top of the zone of consolidation. And then the second trade was the scaling, right? To go back to the top. It's the same thing that I'm looking for here. It looks a little bit different, but it's the exact same thing. One was a long position, one a short position, but I'm looking for the same thing. But again, price on the lower time frame is just flying, bro. This shit does not look like it wants to give us a pullback today. Shit might be done. We still got, that's a good thing with USA. We still got time technically, because price can come back to the low of the day, give us the inducement, right, and then come back to the high of the day. You know, we're just sitting in a range at this point. Just give it a little bit, man. Give it a little bit. No need to rush into it. Going back to EuroCAD real quick. See the progress. We're still at the bottom, so. And then AU. Still at these highs. Giving us exhaustion candles at the highs as well, so. Yeah. For the most part, again, today's a day where you're either, you know, like for US 30, again, this could be an aggressive day of trading for people trading US 30. Like again, it wouldn't have been a bad entries to get in on the retest of the 800. Not bad entries to get in after the bad break here in the retest, But right now, this is a type of trade where, personally, for me, I would have to babysit it a little bit too much to be comfortable to take the trade. Right now, that's not really what I like to do. If I take a trade, I want to be able to set my take profit, set my stop loss, and go on with my day. If I have to sit here and babysit the trade, it's like, no thanks. Again, guys, any questions, let me know. Anything you guys want me to go over, any specific pairs you guys want me to talk about, let me know. My bad. I'm just munching away on my breakfast. Again, guys, any questions? Let me know. We pretty much went over all the pairs. So at this point, I'm just waiting. Again, US 30 looks like it's just dumping. It's all good. I'm letting price do whatever it has to do at this point. Let's open up a new tab real quick. Moving a little bit too early for my liking. EuroCAD still in this range. Came back to the lows. So be a little bit patient with EuroCAD. And then AU. Again, we came back up to the highs of the day. Gave us the inducement. Then we're waiting for price to turn around, right? Start making lower lows and lower highs, and still waiting. The 5-minute and the 1-minute, we're trading between this higher high, higher low, higher high point. So before I consider to take any trades on AU, especially going short, to continue to go short, I need to see price start giving me the change of character down here. So still got a little bit to go with AU. And again, AU, I'm not expecting it at this point to really move. This isn't usually a pair that likes to move during the NYC session. This is usually Asia, the end of the NYC session going into Asia session, right? So 5:30, 6 p.m. It moves relatively early when the market's open. So pretty much for the rest of the day, guys, I'm kind of, looks like this might be a little scouting day for me. Not really interested in these trades right now. Again, unless we get price to do what we need it to do, then different story. Again, now at this point for US 30, we don't have a valid break of these lows yet. These are all testing candles, so we haven't hit the low of the day yet. I would love, like, please, would love for price to start turning around, start doing this move that we were looking for. Start doing it now. Would love to see that right before the 9:30 open. Would love to see that. But it's just too much volume at this point. I'm not expecting it. No way. We already broke way below the 800. We already started trending way below the 800. I don't see this coming back up for us for today. The only thing saving us is, again, just STP. If price gives us a valid break of these lows, we know we'll get those continuations back down to the bottom, especially following the market open at 9:30 in an hour. That's where we know the volume is going to go towards. So if we could catch a scale-in trade and wait for our confirmations anyway, like, we're still good, right? But we already know, like, if price now, an hour before the market's open, just gives us the inducements of the lows of the day, right? The same thing it did. It gave us the inducement to the high of yesterday, and it went back down to the low. So it's the same thing. If price gives us the inducement of the low, we know we could start taking those trades back to the top side when the market's open at 9:30. So regardless for US 30, though, again, I'm still looking at US 30 because there's still so much that could happen. Like, STP hasn't been hit, confirmations really haven't been met. There's a lot of opportunities left on US 30 compared to a pair like AUD USD or a pair like Euro CAD. So we'll be patient. And that's why I was saying, like, yo, any other questions, let me know. Anything you guys want me to explain, anything you want me to talk about, any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, whether or not they're on our list, let me know. If not, I'ma just enjoy my breakfast real quick. I'm gonna mute my mic for like a minute. But let me know any questions. Damn, yo, Shakai not here no more. Mike not here no more. Albert not here. Kendall's not here no more. Y'all don't fuck with me, man. Y'all do not fuck with me. All good. Um, what's good, Adrian? My bad. I'm here. Good morning. I'm still learning something every day from you. Hey, man. Every day is you learn something new on the charts every single day. You never stop learning.
28, becoming the first American woman to row solo from California to Hawaii. 40 of becoming the first American woman to row solo from California to Hawaii. We've made it to day 40, and I am 275 roughly miles away from Oahu. Wow. I thought I'd answer a couple more questions. Then a couple.
I can't tell myself that story that I'm a pro and stop showing up just to use. Now and again, like the reality is that there is no such thing. Like, there's obviously a point where trading is gonna be very robotic, right? Like, you know what to look for, and that's it. Like, that's what you're gonna look for. You take it when it's there. You don't take it if it's not there. But even within those days, you're still learning new things from the market because again, like market conditions change, market timings change, correlations of different pairs change all the time. So there's always something happening on the charts that you're going to have to adapt to, that you're gonna have to learn something new. So there really isn't a thing as like a pro trader. There's never a time where you're gonna be the master at this. Nah. The market makers are gonna keep you on your toes every single time, all the time.
Almost had to fight an old guy at the track one time. Out trading at Fox one day doing motos with my training group, and there was this old guy who kept cutting the track. I normally have zero issues with people with the track. I don't give a shit what you do when you're there. But this guy was cutting the track like an idiot. I'm gonna show you. So let's say this is a corner on the track, go straight, turn, and another straightaway. This dude would hit the jump right here, hold it wide open, dust everyone out, and then just jump back on the track without looking who's coming this way. And sure enough, I was coming this way. One time he was going that way. So that was enough to make me really mad, but I didn't do anything about it. I just passed the guy like normal. I did have to slam on my brakes to not hit him though when he jumped on the track. I got mad because we came around again to the same guy, and on a big jump at Fox, he actually ended up slamming his brakes on the lip. My friend slid up into him and hit him. I hit the jump, and in the next corner, I actually turned up into the guy and kind of touched his front wheel, and then I threw my hand up at him in the air, which I felt like was a fine reaction what this dumbass was doing. And I definitely wasn't being a punk. I was like 18 at the time, but I had my composure, right? I wasn't yelling at this dude or anything. Sure enough, I was sitting on the side of the track, and this dude comes up fast as fuck and like slides his bike up next to mine, and I already knew this was about to not end good. This dude pulls up to me screaming in my face, saying, "Oh, fuck all you young pros, like you guys think you're the shit." And I was like, "Bro, I didn't do anything disrespectful. You almost hurt us multiple times. You're cutting the track." And he ended up getting like really close to my face, so I pushed his hand away with my hand, and then I just flipped him off like in his goggles, and then he ended up riding away super fast. I was obviously upset because he rode up into my face, cussing me out, and I thought this whole situation was over. I was just chilling in my van, and
Um, Commenting about those you saying are fucking with you. Oh, yo, facts, 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 facts. That is true. Actually, you're not wrong. No, yo, that's Kendall right now. He make a few $100 and now he's too cool to show up to the streams. He's too cool to show up to the isolation sessions. He thinks he's the shit right now. All right.
the kid I was riding with were hanging out there.
Life gives lessons all the time, man. All the damn time.
Light for that to just run down those stairs.
So I have an earpiece. A lot of times there's certain things that are going to be said. Like, I'm going to come in, I'm going to greet the Islanders. The first bit of it might be meet me at the fire pit. There's certain things that you get used to saying and doing. But sometimes beyond that, I might not have any idea what I'm doing past like that first part. And you guys love
making us look good.
No, but you guys love to kind of like be like, we're not gonna tell you. Because then it's like I'm saying it for the first time, I'm hearing it for the first time as I'm telling it to the Islanders, which I think, I don't know, sometimes it makes me like extra nervous. But I think that that's kind of the point, right? Because it's a very tense moment, I think, all around, sometimes when it's an elimination, or like last season when we had the audience vote and everybody was switching couples with the bombshells. That was really crazy.
We are going on.
You were almost Hannah Montana?
I guess, yeah.
It was you, Miley.
And Taylor Momsen.
Do you remember the audition?
Very well, yeah.
Okay, walk us through.
There was a room that you go through, and we went in, I don't even know how many times. We all kind of just kept rotating, the three of us. And you can kind of hear, right? So it's like annoying that you could hear like the laughs and the things. Like you couldn't make out every word, but it was enough that you understood like what the vibe was. It was kind of just like we all felt good about it, or at least I felt good about it, but I wasn't sure. But you never know. I mean, sometimes you know, and sometimes you don't. And yeah, it wasn't meant to be.
You were almost Hannah Montana?
I guess, yeah.
It was you, Miley.
And Taylor Momsen.
Do you remember the audition?
Very well, yeah.
Okay, walk us through.
That you go through, and we went in, I don't even know how many times. We all kind of just kept rotating, the three of us. And you can kind of hear, right? I got my head up on the moon. I am not. You didn't have to do the prosthetics, right? I didn't have to do the prosthetics. Rick Baker molded my face, which I think still hangs in his house. And after he casted me and stuff, I think everyone just kind of collectively decided that that's too much to put a kid through, to have to go into prosthetics every day. So they wrote it into the script that I haven't grown into my nose yet. I think I saw an article somewhere where it was like Jim Carrey would sit in like 8.5 hours of prosthetics, and it was brutal. If I remember correctly, I think he went through actual torture training, like with a real Navy SEAL guy, to learn how to deal with it. He's so covered. I mean, the suit and the contacts. I remember there was a time when we had all that fake snow coming down, and snow got underneath his contact and killed him. So painful to see that level of talent at such a young age. I think really had a big impact on me. Just to see someone who takes their craft that seriously. I get asked a lot if it's scary. I think a lot of kids were scared of the Grinch. He was very protective of me, very kind of funny, super animated. But the funny thing is, I never knew what Jim Carrey looked like because I never prosthetic. So I didn't know who Jim was until here, and someone had to point him out to me and go, "That's Jim." I went, "Oh, you didn't have to do the prosthetic."
What was it like working with Jim Carrey?
Oh, he's such a great guy. He always loves us up with laughter. He's such a talented actor. And I really enjoyed working with him.
I think you're a talented actress.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly, it's pretty funny watching them. I'm going, I kind of sound the same, don't I? What do you remember most about him? I just remember so protective of me and always checking in. saw each other. I was gonna ask. For the first time in 25 years. Hugged, like that embrace. It felt like coming home. Like felt like home. Like it was like no time had passed, and it was a family member. It was amazing. And that, so it's like a no.
Laundry. Morty, you need darkness to prime these optical inductors. Hit the leftmost light switch by the door. Left. Okay, lights on. So, did I just hear 3 distinct light switch clicks?
What do you mean?
I feel like the 3 sounds I heard could be explained by an initial erroneous flipping of a switch on the right, followed by a hasty corrective flipping of the requested switch, then, during resultant darkness and silence, a third shameful unflipping of the initially flipped switch. Is my assessment accurate?
Yeah, that's basically how it all shaked out. I'm sorry.
All right, come on.
What?
Come on. Grab a shovel.
What is?
Grab a shovel. What was Morty? I need darkness to prime these optical. Morty, I need darkness to prime these optical inductors. Grab a shovel. Grab a shovel. What was that? That's not. Morty, I need darkness to prime these optical.
Your line.
Zip tie. Alright, fuck it. Switch clicks.
What?
Initial erroneous. Morty, I need darkness to prime.
What's going? It can work, right? If you can use it and you can make money using it.
Things have been so hectic.
Because I told them to sue me. Because I stole
Like I'm serious, bro. You a man. Like it's. I'm not saying you gotta be strong. I'm saying every day after the start moving, bro. Like pick up some weight, bro. Let just like fucking be a man, bro. Do some shit. Like just like I want. You 21, bro. Like I'm serious, bro. You a man. Like it's. I'm not saying you gotta be strong. I'm saying every day after the start moving, bro. Like pick up some weight, bro. Let just like fucking be a man, bro. Do some like just like.
I was the one who told you.
In today's game, that Curry the one for sure. Right into the world, you know. Who else you gonna play with?
Epitome and compromise in the same season.
I was about to go live, so I was looking at this.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. We have a couple things to talk about. Hi guys. Did you just name me or?
Yeah.
So
Are all three of you here? Okay.
You're good. Yeah, you want to take a seat somewhere? We need to talk to you, and we're wondering if we can get out to this for it. Just we have a better area to talk. Okay. So if you guys want, let's put some shoes and socks on, maybe a coat, and then we'll head that way.
Your late objectives didn't arrive with a strong plan and are instead relying heavily on improvisation. Somehow, though, despite not having their answers fully prepared, they appear to be succeeding in getting the family to the station voluntarily. But that can only work for so long before someone catches on.
Go back so we don't have to sit in the rain.
Yeah.
Probably. So, I mean, but there's nothing that we. What's going on? Close your eyes.
Where? What'd you do? It looks like I can see the mark where it just swapped.
Excuse me, Luis. Check the 4-hour time frame charts.
Why do parents are always saying, because I said so?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah.
You want the truth.
Mm-hmm.
The hard truth?
Yes.
Say that when we got nothing. Kids like, why? Why? You go because I said so. You're frustrated. You don't have anything else. What's your question? Yeah, I come out and play. So,
thing I noticed while walking in the home is the store looked unfinished. But it's definitely finished. Thing kicked in. Went over on install. But they could be electrical panels. Here are the office doors. That needs to be fixed. Exterior window frames are not fully sealed around the brick veneer. My only guess on this one is the contractor ran out of caulking. But either way, needs to be fixed. Well, that one's not even close. Oops. Spare bathroom.
$20 says you can't put it within.
Damn, some Dutch bros sounds so fucking good today.
Squat, chest like this. That's fine. What was that? What was that?
Hold up, relax.
You're not getting low enough. Bro.
Stop.
Neil.
Stop doing that.
Look, bro. Look. Your position. You're doing this. I just need to drop your ass. Your chest. Your back one. You want to keep your head and your body up. Your legs is what's driving it up. Okay. You're doing this. I need you to do this. Arch forward. Arch your back. Better.
Come on, bro. Stop playing with me.
I'm not sweating.
Shut up and go.
Come on, Neil. Come on, bro. Wait. Look what he's doing. Stand up. Like keep your head. Get closer. There you go.
Stop. You're fucking minute. Shut up. Just finish.
Neil. I ain't gonna let you fail. But I need you to pull with me. Don't drop the ball. Squeeze that. Give me your hands. Come here. 200 pounds. Like you're picking up a human. No. Neil. Back.
Yo, no way.
I'm leaving you. Relax. Relax. Take a deep breath, bro. Relax. Good. Don't show them you're tired, bro. Oh, watch out, watch out. Fuck, dude. I'm not running my ground. That just doesn't. It's not how it works. Who? The guy that just took off. You're all right. No idea. I just moved here. Okay. Yes, sir. Did not have one. Valid excuse. I just moved here. I have no idea who any of these people are. I saw an event going on Kearney. I pulled up. That's how it is. Yep. Dude, I think I'm on what's it called? Police cam? The police show? I think what is that called? Cops? I think I'm on Cops right now, bro. That's crazy. Is that right, Bob? Do you want to see? See what's going on? Yeah, we're kind of fucked, aren't we, Bob? Yeah, it's not looking too good for us. Yes, it's on my phone. I saw a bunch of bikes in a parking lot. I decided to pull over and meet up with them, and then we went on the road, and now I'm here. Yeah, I'm shaking a little bit. Cause I mean, anybody's nervous getting pulled over. I don't. Right. Hopefully go straight home. And clearly you got mixed up. All right, go home. Thank you very much, sir. Do you have my key? Okay. No way, this guy's gonna do a wheelie. All right. Oh, what the fuck, dude? I'm not running my ground. That just doesn't. It's not how it works. As a gaming creator, one of my most major this year, so it's just people are like, oh, they've never won. It's not over yet. You wearing a do-rag? Crazy guy. Oh my god. You said it was an OLED monitor? Yeah. That's some things on it, but got a thing on the bottom. Oh yeah, I see him. What? It's not bad enough. It looks good. Yeah, I'm just gonna plug it in real quick. No, you're fine. Just wanna make sure it lights up and stuff. Yeah, the PlayStation stuff. Yeah. Do you need a hand? Yeah, it looks good. Yeah. Let's see how much they go. I just use it for my home set.
Got 20 minutes left for the market open, guys.
Oh, sure. 1000%. Don't know if you can use it your setup. Oh, that's sick. Yeah. Yeah, I use all groovy lights like that, especially like around my lights and everything. Yeah. You get a picture of your setup? No, I'm curious.
able to get rid of an OLED monitor, and I'm like,
So I want me to.
yeah, yeah.
I was
It's fine,
basically
let's say,
upgrading. I wanted to
yeah.
get something.
How much did that end up running you for the new one? Yeah, I've seen a little bit.
I got it for
That's really not bad. Yeah, it's not a bad price.
So this is pretty cool because
Yeah, yeah. Telescope connects. Yeah.
This
No, a lot of people, because this is for the Xbox One Connect. Yeah,
yeah.
not 360.
This is the old
Sony pipe. Yeah, PS1s. Yeah.
memory card on it, but it does turn on. The only thing is that
Yeah, the eject button's a little wonky. I see the clip though.
if it's not
Appreciate you. What do you do for it? Real quick, check your phone, make sure you got the payment, and then let me. Oh, yeah. You're still gonna see the scratch, but at least I'll keep it protected moving forward. You know. You want clear or privacy? Cool. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely still see the scratch, but I mean, it's at least moving forward, it's not gonna get worse on you. You know. Once the light's on, you know, like not as much.
Y'all, don't judge me, but I'm gonna have to throw about 200. Let's see how this goes. I did write my instructions down because this doesn't have an app that connects to your phone, but obviously we're on my phone. Kosha is gonna make me chicken and cilantro rice. We're gonna add the thing that it is. Container A, we need 2.5 cups of basmati. Oh. Next thing I need is cilantro. 15 sprigs. I like 15 sprigs. If you thought I was counting 15, you thought wrong. Shit, and then we're going to. She wants cilantro finely chopped. Chopped it. We got container A done. Container B, onion. Garlic. Container C, 15 sprigs cilantro. Why don't you tell me you need a cilantro incurred? Peas. Sure you want peas, red bell pepper on the bottom. She's particular. She knows exactly what she wants. Maybe I should just do that too. I guess it was like here. Container D, boneless chicken thighs, 19 ounces. Little for 19 ounces. I'll do 6. Close, water, and oil. And now we pick the recipe. This thing apparently can make mac and cheese, make pad thai, orange chicken, kung pao chicken, chicken biryani, like everything. For cilantro. Because I liked it already on my phone. Swap. All prepped up. Oh my goodness. You aggressive, honey. Food is ready. It's time to dig in. Come on, baby. Get him. Yo, don't judge me, but I'm gonna have this robot.
When Bunny went park. When Bunny went park. now. That's right. But when went park? When Bunny went park? Hmm? Yes! Good, good. When Bunny went park? When Bunny went park?
Let's take this plain grilled cheese and upgrade it with some Zapsky chips and chef cookies. Actually, we're gonna do kind of a all right.
Yo, bro, you know Minecraft? You know Minecraft? Check this out.
First, I was like, okay, please tell me a little bit first so I don't have to bend over and break the back.
Oh, I'll do it. Hey, you wait, fuck.
Biggest incoherence ready for you on set. Don't eat that cheese.
We'll take it home. Maybe.
What the fuck is going on? Think about it. Hey, cop, is you a fucking snitch?
No, Tommy, I'm not a fucking snitch.
Then what the fuck was you doing with it?
Fucking roll up on me.
There's only one way to prove that you really ain't a snitch. You waiting for a dick. Pull it in.
Victor was caught between the law and the streets. After a moment of hesitation, he pulled out his gun and took down the FBI agent with one shot. Seeing this, Tommy finally felt relief, but Victor looked tense. To destroy the evidence, Tommy started searching for the Duke log, but couldn't find it anywhere. Victor urged him to run. That's when Tommy finally stopped and warned Victor to keep this a secret. But the next day, FBI agent Stacy tracked Tommy down precisely and laid her cards on the table because according to the dead agent's log, the last entry was about following Tommy. She knew Tommy was connected to her dead agent.
Legend. You gotta use that word, alleged.
Oh, I don't gotta do shit. Because that's a fact.
But Tommy knew she had no proof. Otherwise, he'd already be in cuffs. Stacy left with a warning. Her agent had taken photos of Tommy and his girlfriend. She swore she would wipe that smile right off his face. Then she left. This conversation made Tommy realize the FBI had been watching him all along, and that meant the FBI might have infiltrated his crew. So to be safe, Tommy gave everyone new burner phones. I think it was to avoid police wiretaps. Then Tommy compiled all the new numbers and handed the list to his lawyer, Jenny. The lawyer used telecom channels to check which number the
When contracted they. Direction.
Exercise 1025. Girl. But a press out 25.
Are you serious? Press out 25 like chest press? Yeah.
Hold on.
1, 2.
Stop.
4, up 5, up 6, up 7, up 8, up 9, up 10, 25, right? 25, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna tell you something. Yo, the more you do this bullshit, the more everybody. 25. Wait a minute. Give me 25. I'm not gonna cut it. Give me this shit. Give me this shit. Give me 25, bro. Stop. 25, bro. Take the
Watch how my city boy husband thinks I'm going to lose my fingers.
Give me some nerves, my boy. Yeah, I keep those. Every finger.
So there goes the chop. I'm gonna wait 2 more minutes and probably make a decision.
See if you start calisthenics on July 1st.
He's out. He was so sad. He was so sad. But it's like 10-0. He's out. He was so sad. He was so sad. But it's like 10-0. He's out. He was so sad. He was so sad. But it's like 10-0.
Y'all, have you ever looked up in high school on TikTok? I just looked up my high school on TikTok for the first time and what a freaking blast from the past. Like I don't even live in the same state that I was in. I did marry, so I'm not even to high school kid. Next year's my 20th high school reunion. So freaking bizarre. I'm literally too young for it to be my 20th high school reunion. Like what? Y'all have
Got 4 minutes left for this. The 9:30 open, guys. Alright, Price gave us the change, he gave us the break. Price came up. He gave an inducement of the high. So we know we're trading between this high and this low now. So we'll see now. what price does for 9:30. Came back to the low of the day, tapped into the low of the day. Didn't give us a valid break.
I don't know what else. No hate on bro. Like it was definitely my eyes were locked in on that shirt. I want to get better, bro. There's one thing. Make it really better. I'm impressed.
First, and then we starts bumping, we can then assume that it's SMT. We want to get it validated. Would I want to take a long up to this SMT? Probably not.
Okay, so let's
You know it's me, Mary J. It's me, Zero.
Weber shredded pepperoni and toasted cheese. The Weberoni pizza from Little Caesar sure is tasty.
Paid a penny.
It's more or less just there's a string in there. Yeah, that way, but the string out completely.
An hour later, Stephanie was released to a sober adult, but not before sharing some final thoughts with the officers.
Maybe Sergeant 416.
I don't know, but I needed his name.
That was me. I was 454. I was one with you.
No. Hold up. Are you?
It's more or less just there's a string in there.
How much did it get you to take a picture of going back this way? This looks beautiful when you have the shot, dude.
Yeah,
How much would it be?
dude, nothing.
Serious?
Yeah.
I'm from New York, but I'm moving out in 2 months, so I want to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I am shooting into the sun, so you're gonna be like a silhouette.
Yeah, that's all good with me.
All right, here.
You know we can do it.
No, for sure.
Sweet. Do you have Instagram or anything?
Yeah, here. You might want to do it one more time. You
Okay.
actually took off right before I was ready.
All right. You know, I'll move on through.
Yeah, exactly.
It's awesome.
Yeah, of course.
Do you have Instagram by any chance?
Yeah.
Photography page. I love the sport.
No, for sure. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Let's have a good one.
Anybody ever told you almost?
Kid Cudi?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is that exactly what you're gonna say? No, I've been getting that for years, man.
Okay, I'll get like a combination of like Kid Cudi and a load of Jalen Brunson actions.
Jalen Brunson's hilarious. Here, I'll get a quick pic of you just right here.
Oh, sweet. That'd be great, man.
I came in here thinking it would be fun. and then I got a few calls for, and a few people, Lacey, I talked to Lucy, a few people, and they said some NFL players also. Everyone was just cheering me on, saying that I was this guy. No one believed in me. And look at me now, standing right here, standing strong. Motivated. I was gonna say, I feel like you have a soft spot in your heart. Obviously, like, you take Jim serious, but you're a fun. You're a great guy. Sounds like a lawsuit. I came in here thinking it would be fun. You're a great guy. Sounds like a lawsuit. A soft spot in your heart. Like obviously, like you take the gym serious, but you were dancing a little bit, having some fun. I think you're a great guy.
To cut down a tree? We just set it on fire around here.
All right. 932. Price gave us the inducement of the high. King back down. Gave us the change. Perfect. After all the noise, right? Now we come back on the charts. AU didn't really do nothing. EuroCAD didn't really do nothing either. We're just still at these lows. Gold already hit STP for the day. And Bitcoin still pushing down. Again, guys, remember we have news now at 10. Right, I was waiting for the 9:30 open to see if we could get anything that's, you know, a simple entry for a continuation, but price just looks like it wants to reject the lows, come back to the highs, you know, do the same thing we've been doing. So we'll wait for again this 10 o'clock candle to open. We'll see what the news does. Again, just take a look at the 9:30 candle, guys. Just crazy wick, right? Crazy exhaustion candle. So again, understanding when to stay out of a trade and why is very, very, very important. Very important, guys.
K account, 100K account, 50K account. And for those looking at the prices, I will say like Forex prop firms, their prices were high. Like this was normal. Future prop firms have tremendously dropped the prices of prop firms. It's interesting. I'm assuming, yeah, one step process is gonna be more. But here's the thing though, nobody's gonna pay $500 for a 100K account when you could pay $500 and get 5 of them hoes. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, chat? You paying $500 for 100K, or you paying 500 for 500Ks? Let me know in the chat. I'm just saying, it's the truth. You know, so if they want to get into futures, they gonna have to reevaluate them Forex prices. Maybe time to scope out the competition. But yeah, I mean, they were, you know, before Top Step was Top Step, y'all, it was FTMO. It was these guys. They had their own merch and everything. Like Top Step got merch and hoodies. They had the merch, the hoodies. They had people wearing them. They were on top for a while. For a long time, they were on top. And then you hold your position forever. What's up, JumpeR? But yeah, I tend not to dab my nose into things if it's just not beneficial to me. You know what I mean? You got to get good with that when it comes to business. There's going to be things that are just, you know, we tend not to waste our time on things that are just, you know, it is what it is. Ooh, I see you. Not worth my time. I'm moving on with my life. Right? We don't waste no time. You know. Alrighty, we are continuing up here at the
Crazy how again you look at the indexes and they're all just moving so different.
oh, you know that does make quite the statement. Obviously, I'm not gonna buy if we're up over 300 points. Need to see something. So yeah, it's gonna be another patient day. Indeed, it will. Let's see. retracement already. 90 points down. Market's not playing, y'all. Not playing at all. Trade today. Just caught a quick 300 on the way up before the pullback. Made sure to be on the 1 minute. Trail today, very nice. Nope, no trades yet, not yet. Traded Asia session, okay. Scalping some coins, okay. Got some wins and losses in Asia. London was tough, overall profit. Oh yeah, anybody here been trading London session? I forget all about London session sometimes. Yeah, Asian session. I didn't like Asian session last night. It was just didn't like it. I didn't like the price action. I mean, overall, the last couple of years, I'm not in too favor of the price action in general, but it what it is, right? It what it is. You need 2017 markets to come back. 20 lots. We'll put 20 lots on that. Put 40 lots on 2017 markets. Shoot. We'll cash out real quick. 100 lots.
Yo.
Smooth trades.
Brother, you know?
Let's get him on, brother.
Okay, let's crack it. We're just watching YouTube. Watching AU right now. What you up to? You just chilling?
Yeah. Still on the charts.
Oh, word?
Waiting to see if there's anything, but looking like a slow morning.
Yeah, it's been real slow. Looking at like US 30 and S&P earlier. And a lot of this stuff is in areas I'm not really fond of, so trying to give it some time. But AU kind of giving a little push towards the ADR highs for today, so I'm gonna just keep an eye on those, see how they play out for the rest of the session. But yeah, man. But you been up to? You been chilling?
Yeah, I just been chilling. Ain't shit.
What's going on? Got new.
That's how it be, bro.